I totally have the perfect intro for you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh.
But let's do this anyways. Welcome everybody to Zero Hit Points. It's Wednesday, the 13th of July. Isn't that right?
It is conceptually if this is coming out on Thursday. I mean Wednesday.
Did I say Thursday?
No, I said Thursday. I meant Wednesday.
I'm Ryan Miller.
He is.
He's the calendar man.
It's because I'm overweight.
Meh?
He's a fat guy.
Oh, the calendar. No. I meant like as opposed to a calendar girl. You are the sexy man from the sexy 12-month.
Well, why wouldn't you say calendar boy?
I've been
when you say
instructed not to say that in public anymore, actually.
When you say calendar man, I go to Batman. I'm immediately like in villain mode.
No, yeah, that's exactly what I meant. I'm switching it up. It was retconned in the middle.
I love my calendar man. He kills me each and every day of the year.
Joke complete.
January, you kill the year off fine.
It isn't Wednesday, but it's not even Tuesday. It's Monday.
You're not wrong about anything you're saying right now. Continue.
Full disclosure.
Let's disclose it.
Which incidentally is the name of your calendar.
Yes, it is. It's a calendar based off of a unwritten sequel to the movie Disclosure with Michael Douglas. In my calendar, I just dress up as Michael Douglas's various roles and strip down.
And I don't know if I want the calendar more or less as time goes on.
The Jewel of the Nile page is very nice.
What do you do for the game?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know? Let's just say...
It's just a chessboard. You just sitting there.
You went a different direction with that.
A giant chessboard?
No, I was actually just thinking of one single chess piece in a very standing up. Well, I can't choose the horse because that gets weird. I can't choose the queen because I don't believe in regicide and it'll occur. And
you know, I always think the cast couldn't begin any weirder.
Bishop.
We're recording early because I got an email. Hey, if you've watched my Monday video, which you couldn't have possibly. Actually, no, you could have.
Well, they could have. I haven't.
Actually, you haven't.
I haven't.
I haven't. I barely have. I finished it, couldn't post it.
Oh.
Usually do it on Monday. Now we're doing this. No, yeah, don't check your phone.
I was going to watch it right now.
No, don't.
Because I don't. Whatever you're saying is probably not.
It's not ready. It's not even uploaded.
But it probably doesn't apply to me what you're saying. So
it applies to everybody. I got an email from Universal Studios that said, hey, remember when we said you couldn't go any day during the summer?
We lied.
You can go one day.
They lied.
So I signed me up with the kids. We're going to Universal Studios tomorrow, so we won't record the podcast. We'll record it today. So again, as per the early recordings, that crazy piece of gaming news on Tuesday.
Man,
let's get it out of the way now.
The news that we are talking about tomorrow is today.
I don't know what to say.
It's unsayable.
Let's move on. Let's come back to it. Give it some time to digest.
Talk about
it maybe next week.
I have had an action-packed week. This week has been filled to the brim with things of stuffs. So right after...
on the edge of my seat.
Right after our podcast recording, I played some video games. Then, and this is previous weeks, not today, but last week's. Then we went to Red Rocks.
You're not talking about right after you recorded
Yes, I'm not talking about now, tomorrow, or later, but last week, but now. So if that makes sense.
No, it does.
Okay, good. So we went to Red Rocks and saw the flight of the Conchords. Sorry. I had always thought it was Concourse, and I didn't understand the joke. It makes more sense now. Because Conchords fly. They did.
FOTC. That's what we call them.
Yeah,
We don't
FOTC.
even do the whole thing.
Fotk.
So can we? You're saying we can talk about it now? I held
We
back
can.
a little bit less last week because I knew you were going to come in with some nuggets.
I got a couple. So I will kick this off very, very quickly because
Kick it off.
you have the luxury of just, I'm going to see them at the Hollywood Bowl or the Santa Barbara Bowl. So I'm going to drive somewhere. I'm going to park. I'm going to walk.
Sure.
I don't know.
My wife is gone, so I'll go literally 12 hours early.
Sure. But with the Santa Barbara Bowl, you're probably pretty flat land, walking maybe a mile, if that, whatever. So Red Rocks is up on a freaking hill. And by hill I do mean mountain. And we didn't get there early because
is this like a hiking ordeal to get there? Like you started an hour previous and you didn't get there until...
So no guff. It took us let's see, almost half an hour to get to the venue from where we parked going up. So not...
No kidding.
Yeah, so
this would be a thing for any show you saw there.
No, because we didn't get there early enough to actually park close enough to where the walk is, maybe the 1 mile, and it's still going up, but you've got you don't have to go as far, right? I mean, like you're not going up an unpaved on anything, just a path. It's just a hiking path. That's all it is. So a standard hiking path, rocky as hell, going straight up, and then up again, and then up some actual paved stairs, and then up again, till you finally get to the part where you can look down, and there's the stage.
And how long did that take?
It took us about a half an hour to get to the venue.
Jeez.
When we got there, so when we actually got up to the point where we could figure out where our seats were, and this is the best part, no real seats. Because it's an outdoor venue, there are just concrete slabs that have numbers painted underneath them. So the cool thing is that the slabs are actually fairly long, so you can kind of lean back and you can stretch out.
Okay,
but they're concrete. They suck when you do not know they're concrete, and you are sitting there for 2 hours.
You got to bring your little stadium patty.
You do have to bring your little stadium patty thing.
See, I like those because they have like a back on them, like you can use it. Like, I'll just lean up against this back. No, I've tipped over backwards. And now I'm in the lap of the guy behind me. This was why it was put here as a bait. It's like a bait.
Yeah, well, that's how I met my wife. But yeah, so we Beth didn't get off work until later than she expected, and so we were there late. So we got there right as David O'Doherty, I think that's his name, was doing his...
I think that's his name too.
Was doing his last joke. Like it was his last... He was doing his final... his song.
How was it?
It was all right. The song was pretty funny. It was a good song.
Yeah, right.
It was good, but we were like, okay, so he's gonna leave. They'll bring somebody on to say Flight of the Conchords. So we've got a few minutes, and like as soon as he finished his song, he didn't even really wait for applause. He was like, all right, and now I'm gonna do Flight of the Conchords.
Yep.
We were like, all right, we got to go sit down. So
Dimitri Martin did the same thing. He just went right into it, and
they were good. They like all the songs I knew. They only played 1 or 2 songs I didn't know, and on top of like the one.
I must be way farther behind on their.
No, I mean, it might have been a few more than that. I guess maybe 5 or so. I guess
I recognized the songs from the show, and that was it. Like, have they done new Flight of the Conchords material since the actual show?
Well, they did. They played one new song for us. I don't know if it was a song I'd never heard anyways.
No, they played a ton of new songs for me. Like, I only recognized when they played old songs. Yes, it was beautiful.
That's cool.
I only recognized the songs from the TV show. Those were the ones I was like, oh, this is an oldie and a goodie.
No, so anything
besides that, I was like, this is brand new. Are you saying some of those weren't?
I don't think so. I mean, they were songs that I'd recognized. I don't know. I've been binging on them though for the past
for you
2 weeks. So like now it's all kind of it was there before I went. You know.
Gotcha.
They didn't close the show with business time, which I thought was pretty funny. That I was like,
I didn't get any business time for my show.
And so at one point somebody yelled out business time, and Jermaine outright, and it was really funny. He says, all right, we're probably gonna play that one, but the next person that says it's off the list. So somebody screams out, you mean we can't scream business time? And he goes, I swear. They were good, man. They were like vocally, holy crap. I like shocked.
They're really good musicians. Yeah, they're almost musicians first.
I think they are
incredibly
musicians.
Funny afterwards.
I really think they are musicians first. Like after seeing them play and vocals and stuff, like I was shocked at how great they sounded live. I just didn't expect that. You know, in a studio session, I'm not saying they're bad musicians anyway, but in the studio you can fix a lot of issues, and I've seen,
hard to get an idea. Yeah, sure.
I've seen bands that,
especially a comedy troupe, you have no idea.
Right, yeah,
like how much of this are they just
how much are they even
doing
playing?
This in favor of the comedy or even playing? Yeah,
right, yeah. So like, but they were great. They were really funny. They opened the show up strong. When they brought out the entire New Zealand orchestra. Nigel. Yeah. That was fantastic.
There's one dude.
Yeah, with a cello.
They kept referring to him like that and then saying he doesn't like it when we refer to him like that. Yeah, we know. I mean, it's can only be entertaining as we describe everything that happened. The one I mentioned last time, there was one song that was more of a story that I was kind of iffy on at first. Did you?
Was it the cowboy one?
It was, okay.
so that
brought it all back around at the end, right?
I loved it. I was with them that whole time. Like I was with that.
But you knew what I was talking about. It starts out a little different. Like you wonder where they're going.
It was when he puts on the American accent. It's the funniest thing, man. Jermaine was perfect with that American accent.
Hey, they're good. If you have a chance, go see them.
It was easily a one of the most enjoyable shows we've seen, and we would absolutely go see them again. Like that. Right. That's a show I would absolutely see again.
Perfect. What else?
Oh my gosh, I watched so many movies this weekend.
Really?
I did. Okay. I watched a ton of movies. So I watched a movie called Deathgasm.
Okay.
A little movie came out this year, I think, out of New Zealand, and it's is
this part of your
it wasn't it totally wasn't it was actually just I was looking for a horror movie and something I hadn't seen, and I remembered reading about it and it showed up on Netflix. I was like, oh yeah, I really want to see that. We put it in our queue this past weekend, or like 2 weeks ago, and when I booted up Netflix and I was looking for a movie, it was the first one that popped up, and I was like, yes, I'll watch that.
All right.
So it's a little New Zealand flick about this family that moves to a rinky-dink town in New Zealand, and he of course is like super metal, like metal, like he's hardcore, loves the Sepultura and deep death metal and speed metal, all that stuff.
Nickelback and
yeah. And
Creed.
Definitely, he had Creed posters all over the wall.
Yeah.
Big Scott Stapp fan. So he
is a horror movie.
He is the day in the life of a Creed fan. So he ends up putting together. He meets another kid that likes metal. They end up finding this sheet that has music on it. That's this like that puts them into a trance and starts kind of turning everybody into crazy zombie things. It's going to raise the devil and all that. And the movie gets gorier and gorier as it goes. And it's very much so in that, like, that Brain Dead / Dead Alive.
Okay.
Peter Jackson thing. Like, it's that.
I was going to say, is it taking itself really seriously during all this?
Not at all. It is 100% a Peter Jackson styled, like, it's that horror comedy. They're aiming for laughs with the gore. And they do a great job with it. They're teenagers playing music, and the soundtrack is really strong for that movie. They did some great work with the effects on it, and it's just a fun movie. You know, it's got a little bit of gore, but it was Peter Jackson style, so when it explodes, like, there's no way that is blood, you know?
Right.
You know, it was great. And then I also watched, what was the other thing I watched? I watched a couple of horror movies. I watched I just
Check your
told
notes.
I didn't write them down. Oh crap, what was it? It was
How are you supposed to remember a movie if you don't write it down?
I know. I just want to make you edit. That's all I'm trying to do now.
And as you'll know from last week's show,
Every time I say it,
I'm going to edit like a great podcast editor.
I watched Pontypool. That was one of them, which I'd seen before. I just hadn't seen it in a while, so I decided I was going to rewatch it because I wanted something somewhat familiar, but not super familiar.
Does it hold up?
Yeah. It's actually a pretty great flick, and I highly recommend you check it out. It's about a DJ in Canada that ends up he on his way into work, this crazy woman smashes into his car, bashes on the passenger side window and starts mumbling something, but he can't hear it. When he gets to the job, they kind of start finding out that there's all sorts of weird reports coming in that people are kind of going crazy. Then there's this message that starts getting repeated that's in French, and in the message it says don't translate it to English. And you kind of, as the story builds, you find out that somehow
does somebody translate it to English?
Of course, but you find out that
the one thing they said not to do.
They said not to do it, but they also that was one of the stupid things. But one of them, the movie is kind of weird in the sense that the whole concept of the film is that the English language somehow becomes infected, and people start disassociating words, and it causes them to lose their mind. And so they
start using the word literally when they're not actually meaning literally.
It's something
they say things like I could care less.
Maybe it's not disassociating it isn't correct, because he actually has to help them disassociate the word from what it is. But they get it stuck in their head, and it makes them go unhinged. And it's kind of cool because it's a small cast. It's like a cast of 3, I think, in total. I don't think we see... I mean, you see the zombie people, but the main players are just like a cast of 3 that work in this radio station. And it's actually pretty cool. It's a good flick.
All right.
And the other movie I watched...
Any chance do you remember the third one now?
I just freaking cannot remember what it is. I know...
Tell you what, I'll start... which is usually your cue to remember within 3 to 5 minutes.
I'm going to have to look it up.
So I'm going to start on mine, and then in the middle of mine, just start talking about the movie that you then remember. I got my Craven in. Scream 3. Moving right along. I didn't get to Music of the Heart yet. I'm talking about it last week, saving it for my wife, because it's a beautiful movie, I guess. I don't know.
ABCs of Death 2. That was the other one.
It's spelled out for you, and you still couldn't remember.
Which is the worst part. I failed kindergarten, guys. 3 times.
It's an Agatha Christie mystery.
It is not. Decidedly, it is not. The first one, I love the first movie. I really did. I loved it.
This is a sequel?
It is. So the conceit of
what was it called again?
It's called the ABCs of Death. So
okay, just wanted to make sure it wasn't like the ABCs of Death 2, and it is called that it was a continuation.
It is called the ABCs of Death 2.
You're welcome.
The first one and the second one, there is no connection to them outside of the title. So the idea is the producers put together a list of directors. They send them a letter. And then those directors can pick any word in the English language and make a horror movie based on that language or based on that word. And however they want to do it, they can twist it around. They can make it really super sci-fi. They can make it comedy. They can make it whatever. But the general idea is that it's a horror movie that somebody is going to die.
How long?
The shorts are generally, I feel like, the movie's about 2 hours and 5 minutes. So.
But they are shorts. It's
yeah.
not,
They're not. No, you're going to go through A through Z.
Gotcha.
There are live action. There's some claymation. There's some animation. I don't think there are any super CGI'd ones in it, but it kind of goes all over the gamut. And there are a couple that are just raunchy and really especially in the first one. There's one that has stood out to me that was just the grossest. Which I'm not even gonna explain it. If you want to look it up, it's the letter M and the word is munge. I didn't know.
So it doesn't go in alphabetical order?
No, it does. And that was the grossest one.
Okay. I thought you said it was the first one for some reason.
No, it's the first one that grossed me out. Like the rest of them,
gotcha.
The rest of them were really good, and I liked a lot of them. But that one was like the one that stood out the most to me. That I'm like, just gross. and
I'm intrigued. I've never heard you say any of these words in a row.
It's gross.
Is it better? So this is the second time they've done this.
Yeah.
This idea.
Yeah.
Was this go round better than the first go round?
I think they're totally on equal footing because I mean really it's just an edited thing by the producers. The directors are they're different. So it's a different crop of people. I don't think there were any
not even any repeat directors?
I don't think there were any repeat directors. I'd have to look. I didn't really look that closely. But there were only maybe a handful in there of directors that I recognized by their name. Every other person...
I would imagine, yeah, if you're going through 20... How many letters are in the alphabet nowadays? 6? Okay.
I think, I don't know. 28? 40? Cyrillic.
I know there used to be 20. I don't know how much there are now.
Well, Pluto
I haven't checked.
Pluto is not a planet.
It's not. That's why, I mean, that's the main confusing thing.
Right, and then there's the whole, like, with the ocean tides and the moon. I don't know. Good flick. I enjoy them. I actually really love horror anthologies. They're usually some of the most fun anthologies I see.
That's I guess some new information there. For a second, I thought you were going to say I really love horror movies, and I was gonna say
it's true. I do.
Since when?
Yeah. But anthologies, it's just something that doesn't come up very often, and
it's not.
And when they're put together, like especially when they're not horror movies, I find them a little bit harder to enjoy. But I like horror anthologies; they're fun.
I can't remember if I've seen any new anthology type movie since Four Rooms.
Four Rooms is probably the last one that was not a horror one that I've seen as well. Which I'll give that one. That's actually a great movie.
It's a fantastic. Yeah, no, that was in high school. That was one of those like immediate favorites. And even though I had no idea what was going on, I don't even know if I knew it was 4 different directors when I first saw it.
I don't think I probably wouldn't. I probably didn't recognize that at the time. I just remember that movie helped. Even as when I was younger, it was the movie that helped me identify Tim Roth as somebody that I always want to watch. Tim Roth
and by association, for me, anyways, Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino. Like the very first time I started to get what they were, and this was that before Pulp Fiction?
I think that was right after. But I don't.
Close,
I think release wise, I think it came out after. But I think maybe it was.
I guess it doesn't matter because I don't remember if I saw it before or after Pulp Fiction. I saw Pulp Fiction in the theater with my friend and ended up not liking it really because I didn't understand Tarantino at the time.
It was I definitely saw Pulp Fiction before I saw Four Rooms.
Anyways, but yeah, Four Rooms was when I started to be like, oh, this is crazy. Anyways, Scream 3.
Yeah, Scream 3. I do not recall this one as much. This is a Hollywood one? They go to Hollywood?
Yes. This takes place largely during the filming of Stab 3.
Right.
Which is the fake movie
and
that details the Woodboro murders.
I feel like David Arquette doesn't show up until...
He does. Everybody's pretty much there.
But he doesn't show up till like midway, and then he's... No, he's at the beginning. He's like a private eye. Okay, never. You just tell me about it.
Yeah, no, this is the way to do it, obviously.
Yeah, no, let me guess of what I remember, and you tell me if I'm wrong.
From there, we can tell.
And I'll fill it in with synapses.
Everybody's there. It's not Kevin Williamson, which is the guy who did the first two,
right?
Which have done so well that this is, I guess, the moment where they say he had something else going, but I'm sure also at this point he was like, I could just put one of these in motion. He's a producer on it. And it's going to make money anyways, which it probably did. It's not as strong as the first two. Not remotely.
I do remember thinking it was weaker than those two, which actually is why I never saw the fourth one.
I have also never seen the fourth, but just for the same reason I never saw the third. I had a real scare at first because when I found out Kevin Williamson wasn't writing it, I looked up the dude who did and was like, oh, and I forget I think his last name actually is Kruger or something like that. Aaron Kruger.
Yeah, and that guy has ruined a bunch of movies.
Has he ever? Like you look him up on IMDb and it's like known for, and it's like the first 3 are Transformers movie, and I was like, no, what is this? This can't happen.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as a Transformers movie.
No,
it's not even bad. Like what happens is you can tell it's not up to par, but very specifically you can tell when he tries to make it like the other Scream movies. When he tries to make it self-referential, like the whole taking place during the filming of Stab 3, like on actual film sets, isn't necessarily a doomed idea. It is kind of obvious. Like it's almost like 1 and 2 are very on the nose, right? They're very self-referential, but that's not easy. That's not a given. Like it's not just like, oh well, we'll set this while somebody's making a movie, and then we can do references to the movie. Like it's the way it was done in 1 and 2 was deft. It was done very deftly.
Because
this one, it's like I feel like they had a story and they're like, okay, well, if at this point I do this, then it's self-referential and thus a Scream movie. Well, like the other ones were. It's clumsy.
The first 2 movies, like just diving into that just a tiny bit, they build up the world around Sydney in the first movie with the whole like the talk about her mother and all that stuff, but they don't bash you over the head with it. Like it's there, it's obvious, but it's not like printed on a wall thing.
It's not, and it's a difficult thing to put a finger on or a hand on. Doesn't whatever. If only I could explain to people what you just did.
The viewers can see it,
but it is. It's competent and entertaining. They actually kind of save the end of the movie somehow a little bit. But like I said, the self-referential stuff is clumsy and I think
strong overall. I think what the main thing that now it's kind of coming back to me a little bit is that in the first movie, it happens to Sydney for a reason. There's an actual like there's a reason for it, but it happens to Sydney. The second movie happens to Sydney as a reaction to the occurrences of the first film. So there's a reason for it to happen to her. I feel like the third movie, she forces it to happen to herself.
Forced is actually a good word for the whole thing. Like there are several things in there that are forced. Like they bring back Jamie Kennedy's character via a VHS tape. Right. Just so he can be like, unless you're in the third movie, in which case these are the rules.
These
are
the rules, right?
Stupid.
Yes.
It's so dumb.
I remember that too. Going like that was even in the theater. I think I rolled it. It's just so
forced. Yeah,
really?
I guess I don't know. Yeah,
it's cool. Whatever. Everybody liked the character, but you nuked him in the second one. Let him be gone.
Anyways, Scream 3, Scream 4 this week. Maybe Music of the Heart. Nobody knows. Video games, sir. People. Places.
I played some video games this weekend, this past week, but I did one other thing that kind of will lead into the last part of this.
I want to talk about that too.
We talk about it whenever you want. Do you want to talk about it now?
No, I want to talk about it when you said. So really, why did I even just interrupt you right then?
I don't know. Okay. I didn't play this, so you talk about Halo 5
you did.
Guardians.
We played some Halo 5 Guardians Score Attack.
I forgot. I hated it. It was so dumb and stupid.
Allow me to remind you.
Yes.
No,
we got achievements.
You hated Warzone Firefight. Did you not like this mode at all?
It was fine. It was just whatever.
This is Score Attack. This is the arcade version of campaign.
Yeah, play Halo, kill things, try get headshots and get
points in different ways. Yeah, headshots, multi-kills, etc. I actually got from this what I was hoping to get largely from Firefight. Like you get the medals.
Enjoyment?
You do. Yep. There it is.
I hate you, 343. I don't. You're not Bungie.
It's not necessarily deep. Like it is kind of like. I mean, we were scoring high, but it was kind of just like because you're always trying to get headshots and kill them as quick as possible, and I guess we were trying to do it within 11 minutes to get the under par as well. I don't know.
Well, we were trying to get it in under 7 minutes.
Yeah, but par was 11.
Because
Whoops.
for some reason you thought 7, so
nobody knows.
It wasn't hard to get the achievement or whatever for that first level. It was fine. It's a cool mode, and if there were, it's not something that would ever draw me back to it.
No.
Totally, it's one of those. Yeah, I'll play it I would play that to get the achievements because they're kind of easy. But
we got them all in 2 games.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fine.
If this mode had been there from the start, I probably would have played through the campaign.
Yep.
With this turned on.
I honestly,
from square one.
If playing with that turned on, and would get you also the regular legendary completion achievements and stuff. Yeah, absolutely, no question.
Probably still would. I don't know why that would disqualify it.
I don't know. If it did, it would have been cool. But
nobody knows.
But we didn't have it, so it doesn't matter.
We also played Rainbow Six Vegas 2.
Yeah, that was our hit play.
The Thursday stream that's now on YouTube.
It was cool. I'd never played it before. It was fun.
You never played a Rainbow Six before, or that Rainbow Six?
Well, I've never played. I played one Rainbow Six for a couple of hours at most. I never played much into it.
Is that the one during PAX?
Siege, yeah.
Siege. That's right. We played Siege.
Yeah.
That's not Rainbow. Was that it? That is Rainbow Six Siege, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the one at PAX.
Well, no, we played Rainbow Six 1 at PAX. We played Siege, just me and you.
No. Rainbow Six Siege is the one that just came out.
Yeah.
We played that at PAX. I played
that at... Oh, okay, yes. We played that at PAX, yes.
That was my first
I was thinking
experience.
in the hotel room, we played a couple of games of Hide the Sausage. No, of Rainbow Six Vegas 1, I want to say. We did some terror stunts.
I don't think so.
Might have been 2 years ago. I don't know.
I don't know. Either way, I have never played this big game before, and I'd never played Terrorist Hunt. Terroristical. Testicle Hunt.
I want to say you played Terrorist Hunt with us. Because that's what we played on Rainbow Six 1 that one time. Maybe it was just me. I know I played with Adam. Maybe you weren't there yet.
I might have been asleep.
You were asleep. I don't know.
That's very plausible.
That's when I tend to play my games.
Yeah, I know.
I really like Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six Vegas 2 was as good as Rainbow Six 1. I liked it, even if it was just kind of more of the same. It was still as strong, at least, and it was fun to go back to this time. Yeah,
it was cool. I would not be opposed to playing it some more and playing through it.
I think we did. I like that stream too. I think we had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. Well, especially because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Snake cam? Sure. What is it?
I know what you're doing.
Snake cam.
Stacking.
Stacking. Gotta get up.
Check it out.
Yeah, it's good.
I also started Goat Simulator. I finally played that game.
It's fun. I like
it's fun.
Simulator. It's stupid.
It's stupid.
Did you get the Satan goat yet?
Did you get the Satan goat yet? This section is just I say what you say, louder.
This section is what you say, I say.
Well, now it's broken.
No, you don't.
It's super fun. It's fun. It's weird. It makes you laugh. I'm kind of bummed that I didn't just discover this on its own because it's coming after me being very aware of the whole Surgeon Simulator and all the funny simulators out there that have come since. And I'm like, these are entertaining. This would have been way more entertaining had I not been aware of that yet. But it's still fun. It's still real weird. And I just feel like I can't. I didn't take any clips of it because I'm like, that was super weird and funny. But I didn't take a clip of it because everything's super weird and funny. And there's a ton of these clips out there. So I'm just like, keep them going.
I like it. It's fun. Did you get the Satan goat yet?
I got the Satan goat. I got the everything goat.
Yeah.
I think,
of course you did.
Oh, no. I didn't get it wants me to put a wind totem on an altar in the second level. And I haven't done that yet. And I don't know what it gets me. So that's probably something.
Yeah, I'm sure you're further ahead than I am.
I was focused on the achievements.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I tried a couple. There were a couple of them that I was like, dude, I'm just not I'm not in the mindset for them. And
Well, there's no way to actually figure them out, really. Like it's like do this, and you're like, oh yeah, because everything here is like A to B. That'll make sense.
Well, no, I mean it's just some of them. Like there was the one for being on your riding a bike for X
Oh
amount
sure,
of,
some of them are spelled out. Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's just and that's just so difficult. Like
it's difficult. Also, the achievement doesn't pop until after you get off the bike. So I did it for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, what the heck? And then you get off, and then the achievement. I'm like, oh, I just had to get off the bike. That's great.
Yeah, we should see if I don't remember if multiplayer exists for that or not.
It does. I don't think through Xbox Live. I think it's just local.
That's so stupid. I know they did.
You're stupid.
They did Goat Simulator MMO on PC, and I know they talked about doing it for console.
No, they did. It's a DLC pack. They have the MMO DLC pack, and can't remember what the other one is. It's like a RPG. It's not RPG. I can't remember. Whatever. I'm waiting for them to be discounted, and then I will quite possibly purchase them.
All right,
I got this game when it was free for gold, so
as you should.
Why wouldn't they discount the other ones?
I don't know. Let's call them.
And then you. This is what I want to know about.
Tell me. What
you played Overwatch, but you played it on your new PC, which you built over the course of at least 2 days. Yeah. And I want to hear about it.
Yeah. I talked about it for a long time, and it's been at least a decade since, if not more. Yeah, definitely more. Almost 20 years, actually, now that I come back down to it.
Really?
15, 20 years since I've actually built a computer.
Okay, I was going to say, because you've had your laptop that's kind of been your...
Yeah, I had
go-to pretty much.
I had an Alienware laptop. I still have it. I have an Alienware laptop that I got in like 2008, and it's been fine. I mean, it ran everything for the most part, but when Overwatch came out, it was just not doing it, and I figure I need something for more modern age.
And you got it. We talked a little bit about you PC part picking, and you were waiting for it to come in. So
yeah,
tell me about the building.
Everything came in on by Friday. My wife had never built a computer. She didn't really know what went into it, so I decided we would do it together, and we did. We built a computer together, which that extended the build time. I probably could have done it if it was just me. I probably would have done it a little bit faster. But the first day, so on Saturday, we started building around 11 o'clock. We finished around 3:30. And that pretty much put me where I wanted to be. That kind of got all the hardware there.
Building the box, like you still needed to do the software.
I had to do all the software and all that. But she applied the thermal paste and plopped the chip into the motherboard, and
I didn't realize that was like, I thought you just had to screw all the parts together. I didn't realize you're doing
no. We had to install the chip into the motherboard, add the thermal paste, and install the heat sink.
Crazy.
Install the graphics card and all that, and rewire everything, which was the nightmare. And that was actually the only issue that I ran into during the build. Like the biggest issue, I went to check it prior to putting in the video card. I had all the other components ready, and I just wanted to see a post real quick so I could see the BIOS. And man, it was booting, but it was just beeping at me. I'm like, what did I screw up? Like, I've only done like 3 things. Like, did I freaking forget? Like, did we bend a pin on the CPU? Oh man. So I took it all apart.
That sounds like a bad thing to do.
It would be very bad. It wouldn't work. So I took it all apart. Pins looked good. Put it back together. Plugged everything back in. And just looking at it. And then I finally realized, you know what I'm missing? Power to the actual CPU. I forgot to actually... There's a plug. Like there's a specific cable for the CPU.
That sounds like it'd be important.
It's a little important. It was totally one of those things that
I've never built a computer before.
So there's a bunch of cables that you put together, and the one that always sticks out is the 24-pin cable. It's the one that connects the power supply and the motherboard. It's what powers the motherboard. And I totally spaced out that doesn't just power the chip too. So yeah, we built it, and then later that night I came back, I installed Windows, and then yesterday, I guess, weird, I did all my game installs, updated my drivers where I needed to, and the first game I installed was Overwatch. Logged into it immediately, and playing that game with the graphics set all the way up. It's really pretty.
Yeah, look, you streamed a little bit of it too as you set up your streaming capabilities, and it does look real good.
Yeah, I definitely need to work on the streaming stuff. I've got to figure out some of the audio issues, but I think I know what to do there. Yeah, it's great, man. So far, it's a pretty solid build. I've got a bunch of games installed. I haven't really played much other than Overwatch, but I'm going to be looking at finding some pretty things, some stuff I haven't played yet. I'm seriously considering Mirror's Edge, but I don't know if I want to pay that much money for it. But yeah, it's great. The only thing I have, I don't really have anything left to do. The only things that a couple things I want to change. I want to get a new mouse or a new keyboard. I mean, I've got a perfectly fine mouse. I could use some new monitors. My monitors are fine. They both do 1080p. I wouldn't mind upgrading those a little bit.
Get a 4K monitor, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Got to do all the 4K gaming I can.
I get an email like every week from Monoprice. It's like, we got 4K monitors.
I need 2 of them for $200.
They got 2 of them.
Nice. 700 inches.
That's appropriate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... but anyways, I played a bunch of Overwatch on the PC, and it is, I have to go back and say it is a just wildly different game than what it is on console. It is so different. Everything
level
about
of detail is very noticeable there.
Well, I mean, even beyond the view, like, which does, by the way, it helps immensely, no question about it. But everything, it is so much faster, It's more unforgiving in that sense, because those games do go a little bit faster than they do even on the
everybody's playing a little
console.
bit faster.
Yeah, and but I love it. It's great.
Cool.
I didn't have any. I only had one match where somebody went snarky with me, and I didn't even notice it till the end of the match, and I didn't even care because
wait, what's like snarky texting you some inappropriate comments, or
it wasn't even that inappropriate. He asked me if I know how to heal. Well, the problem is, Hanzo, that you're on the other side of the map and you're Hanzo.
Yeah, why would you heal him anyways?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's not coming to me for heals. He's standing in a spot like I'm whatever.
I would imagine if you're standing alone and it once again Hanzo.
Yes.
Your chances of being healed go down significantly.
Maybe instead of just being over there and whining about healing, maybe just throw a hockey-talkie walkie-pokey and drag him to death.
I may sound like I hate Hanzo. It's not that I hate Hanzo, it's that I hate
the people that play him.
Every character to some degree.
Yes.
Like when it's somebody else. When I'm that character, like anything goes. I'm nobody else is wrong. Somebody else is that character. Obviously, they're especially Hanzo, because he's like the spray and pray sniper. Like I swear every time I get killed by that dude, he's just like firing into like a thing where there's people, and he headshot me. Like it never looks like the person playing that character is skilled. It's incredible.
Which is even funnier, because then I sent you right after my first game played. I had my best game ever as Widowmaker. Probably because I was playing on PC with I had like a 16 kill streak.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, and that's the picture I sent you.
Oh, that's the picture you sent me. Gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha. I sent you that one photo.
You're like, please believe me, I'm not lying. And I was like, what? Why would you even say that?
What I didn't do though when I played, I did not touch competitive. I only played quick play. And a huge chunk of that is a lot of the complaints that have been coming around for competitive. And
yeah, let's roll this right into.
And Kaplan
news.
Came out and did mention that certain things were changing. The sudden death that currently exists the way it does now, there's a coin flip to it, and you may or may not get that coin flip in your favor. Even
it's
if
a coin flip to see who's attacking and who's defending.
And it's crappy.
Is basically people are complaining that that's an unfair coin flip, especially depending on what map you're playing on.
Yeah.
So they've gone through and messed with some of the times for the sudden death. Like some of them will last longer than others to I guess, balance out the maps where it's quicker or harder to get out depending on what side you're on.
Ultimately, the coin flip
yeah.
is going away, though.
Yes,
that's what Kaplan said, that they're
sudden
ditching
death
that.
is going away.
Yeah, they right. Which I'm fine with this. I don't understand the utter need for a winner in all situations. Like, I think there are times when you can have two teams that were that good and they played each other that well and they counted each other, and that's that.
The concept of sudden death is exciting, right?
It's exciting.
Like, it's all down to it. It's you for that same reason. You can see why it would be hard to make it a completely fair thing. So yeah, I mean, I feel like there's still a gameplay solution, but it looks like they're not so much into that. They've admitted as much that it's not ideal now, and they're just going to do away with it and have ties be a thing.
Right. And the other thing they're going to address is they're addressing the issues with levers. There are times when you're going to get disconnected. You can't do anything about it. You get booted for whatever reason. And if you rejoin, you should generally be able to, especially in a short amount of time, you should be able to just kind of jump back in, stay with your team, keep all your experience and everything. And that's not happening right now.
Yeah.
So they're working on fixing that along with...
They're receiving the penalties and the loss,
yes,
even if they join back in.
Right. And so they're working on fixing that along with tweaking some of the penalties for leavers when they do leave, and that'll be...
Yeah, so you can get back in, and if your team wins, you get a win, basically. And I don't think you get any of the penalty, but that only is good for 3 times. If you're coming and going 3 times within the same match, it's done. It counts as a loss, I guess.
Which, yeah, I mean, I can honestly see, I can see 2 disconnects, but after that second disconnect, maybe don't reconnect and just take the loss instead of risking actually getting really
for the sake of your team,
right?
Maybe at least. Yeah, I get this on Rocket League a couple times. Just guys that are, I'm still not like, it's still so strange to me sometimes that I feel like it's people lagging their connection. Like, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it's Rocket League. I might be thinking of another game or something like that. But it's.
Well, I remember the whole lag switching thing was a huge deal at Gears of War.
Right, maybe that's where I'm getting it
and
from.
The host thing and all that.
Yeah. Anyways, last thing about Overwatch is they released some stuff about the new character coming up. It looks like it's going to be a sniper healer.
Yeah, named Sombra.
Oh, the name is even out there somewhere?
The name's been out there for a while. The assumption, so there is a whole lore that you've seen. Now you've seen the videos. You watched all the shorts.
Sure.
In the shorts, people have dug around and found names and stuff,
really?
And there's all sorts of references to things like the actual announcer has that says, ready for attack or whatever. She actually has backstory too. And I feel like she may be Farah's mom, but that's who they think Sombra is.
Huh.
There's been so Farah's mom's name is on that image in the letter section too. So what came out was a picture of a gun that was a sniper rifle that has some of,
it's like a schematic
Mercy's,
with some notes on it. Yeah.
It's got some of Mercy's healing properties added to it, and it was built by Torbjorn. He's sending a message to 76 Reaper and to Farah's mom. But at the time that the message came out, it was sent to Morrison Reyes and Amari, I think is her last name, or Amani. I don't remember what it is.
Sure.
But yeah, sniper healer. I love the idea of shooting my teammates like in the head and healing them.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, no, that makes sense now.
Even though I prefer that they didn't get healed. But
it'll be fun. The new heroes, probably the most exciting thing about this game.
Especially support. Support needs it because symmetry.
It would make sense. Yeah,
symmetry needs to be moved.
4.
Well, no, there's only 3. Symmetra is not support. Period. She's in under support. She ain't support.
Gotcha. Okay. I believe you.
She's
if I'm gonna believe anybody, I'm gonna believe you.
I appreciate that.
Team Fortress 2 doesn't want to be left out.
They don't, and I'm disappointed in everything Valve has chosen to do with this.
Really?
Yeah, it's they're casual mode is real stupid.
So it's called Meet Your Match. It's a competitive mode.
Yeah, so there's
quote,
competitive mode.
Designed as a new challenge for experienced TF2 players, competitive mode lets you rank up, track progress, earn medals, record your accomplishments in a results-based competitive experience. Self-explanatory there. What are you not excited about?
Competitive mode is whatever. I mean, they've been competitive mode for TF2 has been teased and talked about for freaking years. The fact that it finally exists is whatever.
It's pretty reactionary, like no matter what, right?
Yeah, especially now. Yeah. But what bothers me is they took away the quick play function that we knew it, and replaced it with a casual mode. And the casual mode is supposed to kind of be it's competitive light. It's supposed to be the fun, goofy version that we always had.
The normal mode, yeah,
right. That we always had in quick play. There was never but they've removed quick play, and it seems like quick play is gone. Period. Which sucks. So now this casual version.
It's not just the same as casual.
It's not. It was not. So quick play not even the way you think about it necessarily, like Overwatch. Overwatch, you click a button and it goes.
Right.
With this, it was you clicked play, it gave you a huge list of servers, it would give you a list of pings, and you just chose the one you wanted.
Gotcha.
And then if you wanted to go even further, you'd actually brought up the server browser, and instead of looking for just Valve servers, you brought up every server that was being blasted.
Sure. Okay.
Well,
all of that is gone.
It's mostly yes.
Wow.
So what they've done now is they took away some of the options to look for you to look at. They said they were all going to add it back. It was all stuff that they were slowly going to bring back in a new form, but they held stuff back from a casual mode for a stupid reason, and they don't want to bring back quick play. My assumption being because they don't want to split the player base anymore.
So that's my first question. Yeah, this is typically what they do, like if they're losing players, because you do too many modes, you want to corral them into a little bit fewer modes so it looks like you have a healthier playing base when you're actually in the game.
Right.
Is that what's going on? Like, are they losing players kind of here? I mean,
well, probably.
It would make sense with Overwatch.
Every other game is, but TF2 has a loyal fan base. There is a player base there that will always be there for as long as Valve allows those servers to exist. They'll be there.
Right.
So, like,
until they remove that playlist, like the playlist that says loyal TF2 players always play here, they're just going to drop that mode. And
it just kind of sucks because the way that it worked. This is one of those. This is just a clear situation of they're tinkering with something that isn't broken, and don't, because now they're pissing off the player base and all the people that had been loyal, and they logged in one day and were like, I can't do what I want to do. I guess
maybe they're hoping that they'll be attracted to those diehards would be attracted to the new competitive mode. I guess maybe.
And the stupid thing is that those diehards, if they wanted to play competitively, they would have done Highlander. They would have done the other modes or the other tournaments that exist that are that have existed for years and have backing and have people that pay attention to them, and those are where the best players are going.
Huh.
Are the best players going to play competitive TF2 on Valve stuff? Maybe. I mean, I guess it depends on what happens with Highlander. Highlander is so established now. They've got a whitelist for weapons. They've got a blacklist for weapons. They've got, it's set, and they're attentive to the needs of the players. Whereas I don't know that Valve is going to be attentive to competitive players in any meaningful way.
Well, I mean, if they weren't, it would be slightly new for them. Like they're very attentive. That's what Dota is.
But they're not attentive to the TF2 group.
That's yes.
That's the thing.
I guess that's the difference. But if they're gonna do, they have the competitive chops. Like if they're gonna dedicate themselves to this, it could be fantastic, and they know exactly what they're doing. I guess the wait and see is, will that come to this particular instance in this game, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
And I feel like with TF2 they missed a boat. If they had done competitive a long time ago, it would have been one thing.
Overwatch is proof positive, 100% that they missed a couple boats over the course of a fleet
They did.
Of years.
Well, and the funny thing about Valve in general is I feel like I don't know, maybe it's just where how they release stuff and I guess my perspective on it, but I feel like Valve sat atop the mountain for so long as king because they did make these great games, and then they got into, well, we want to perfect the games, and then it started taking so long that now people are leapfrogging them with everything they're doing. You know, like Steam is obviously Steam. That's not, but I'm talking about their games in general. Like, I mean, Dota is huge, but
I would say Dota's probably still king of the. Oh, well, it's at least where it's been in relation to League since the beginning. Like,
right, but I feel like even that is. I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't know what I'm.
We don't know. I don't know. You don't know. I don't know. Do you know?
I feel like Valve is resting on their laurels in a lot of places, and that they're getting beat out by the competition.
That is a valid question for Valve for quite a long time. Like they seem to be great at what they do and kind of have garnered this positivity among players in general, community in general. But they popular sentiment being that they can't count to 3, which isn't necessarily bad, and that they aren't doing much counting at all, maybe.
Right.
At this point. So yeah, you got to wonder when something new is going to happen. Like, is it just how long do we status quo over there?
I don't know, but Turtle Rock decided to ditch their status quo.
Did they ever?
They did, and boy howdy, man.
Turtle Rock makers of Evolve.
One of the games that I downloaded, Evolve.
Oh, did you download the new? So Evolve went free to play.
It's
thing here.
Now it is called Evolve Stage 2. So it is free to play. And yeah, activity in that game has boomed.
It seemed to be about 500 players total average when they pulled the plug. It wasn't down. There was a headline that came out that like, oh, the Evolve is not downloadable anymore. So then the rumors started flying. Next day it was pretty much confirmed that it's free to play now. And since then it's gone from 500 legitimate folks back once again.
Mr. Legitimate. Silly hillbilly.
Deep cut. 27,000 is now worth. So that worked apparently.
Yeah, and I watched a bunch of it yesterday actually when I had it I had Twitch running in the background while I was doing some stuff, and I would poke my head in, and it seems like the consensus is still. The monsters are still a little, just a tiny bit too strong, but after everything they changed, how they changed it, it looks like it. I mean,
it looks back
like a brand new game.
Beta.
Yeah, it looks like a brand new game. It looks like a brand new Evolve, and we both really liked it. I would love for Evolve.
I loved it. Like everything, all the articles coming out about this are like Evolve had a rough launch and this, that, like this. There's the one we grabbed was from Engadget, and they said it had a tremendous amount of buzz, but lack of depth and the restrictions that asymmetry brings led to mixed reviews and middling sales. I would disagree with those two things completely.
I think that Evolve's number one problem was the entirety of that DLC crap that they started with immediately.
I would say that was probably the biggest negative thing, but lack of depth, no way. Like I dove into each character to get the majority of the achievements in a bunch of different ways, and I was surprised repeatedly by the depth that was there with each character. Well,
and that's like lack of depth. So that to me is it reads as code for they didn't have enough, either enough maps or enough monsters or enough people for them to play with.
I guess modes maybe like, too, because it was essentially the same thing.
Right, but like you know, team games have as much depth to them as your team will allow them to have. Do you want to have a highly strategizing team? You can do that. You just don't. And it's not, you just don't because you just don't want to set up time you don't want to take the time to do it. But they can have as much depth as you want.
I'll agree that it's missable too. Like you're not necessarily going to even notice the amount that was there in each character. Like you might just grab that character, you know what your weapons are. Like maybe you're not looking at how it's interacting with the other players or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, lot of that's coming out now. This seems to be a positive direction for it to head. Like I said, 500 to 27,000 players it's a bump.
It's a bump.
But it is back in beta, and they're going to be rebalancing it kind of for this new.
Yeah, and strategy. I'm actually looking forward to booting it up on my PC.
Should also mention, if you already own the game, you're going to be granted some some founder's status. They haven't completely explained what that is, but you won't be completely left out in the cold. And this is all on PC so far, but will be coming to consoles eventually.
Yeah, from my understanding, is anything you unlocked will continue to be unlocked. It will re-unlock for you. You'll get a bunch of coins and some other goodies.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I'm trying to ask you.
All right.
What is 6 gigs on disc? That's it. Just 6 gigs and comes out August 9th.
2 thumbs.
Nice.
And comes out No Man's Sky.
It's true.
Is pure gold.
It's golden. It's coming out August 9th for reals.
It's gone gold. This is from Sean Murray. Tweeted it out probably seconds after it was so.
Very possibly.
Gold. Game's gold.
Yes.
August
9th. He also outright stated that the game is 6 gigs on disc.
Yeah.
And most of it is
kind of crazy.
Most of it is audio, which has now caused
a lot of that is audio.
Well, yeah, okay.
That's the quote.
Okay. A lot of that is audio, which has caused a couple of fun freakouts by people. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen to the game? Is it really going to... How can it only be 6 gigs? Most AAA games are 20 gigs. Ah! It's real fun.
What? We don't know a lot about No Man's Sky. What we do know is completely in line with that, so whatever.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is
procedurally generated.
It's procedural, so you just
server side mostly. The balance where that line is drawn exactly seems like a little bit of a craziness, but still, yeah.
It's like, what are you getting all worried about? Well, yeah, I love that they hear a size and they're like, oh my gosh, we've got to put something out now because now we're worried. What could only 6 gigs be if it's just mostly music or a lot of...
It's just the soundtrack. That would
it's
be
just,
good.
yeah,
Here it
is.
Why are these 12 songs so big?
It comes with a digital download code for the actual game. Yeah. It's one really long Enya video.
5 out of 5 stars. Resident Evil 4 is coming to PS4 and Xbox One on August 30th. Says Tim, Capcom employee. One of the greatest video games of all time is coming to the PlayStation 4. He's not, but he can't say that.
He can't.
You say like
it's coming to console.
What my friend has told me is one of the greatest video games of all time.
Yeah.
Capcom employee Tim. I actually think it's Tim Turi. I think he used to work at Game Informer.
Well, that's why he just let that one loose. Great job there, Capcom. You forget you hired a journalist, quote unquote.
Yeah,
I don't know if
he dug this up, and it turns out Capcom thinks Resident Evil 4 is one of the greatest games of all time.
Did you ever play that? You never.
No, I didn't. I don't. Have I played a Resident Evil yet? I don't think I have.
We've talked about this, and I feel like you. Yeah, that is totally.
I've watched all the movies. It is
very much different.
I've seen The Spirits Within. I don't know how many times. What else do you want?
I don't know. I would like a burrito and a margarita.
Man, we should not do this during lunch.
You should definitely play that game, though. Resident Evil 4 was tremendous.
I've heard it's the one to play. No, that's top if I ever played one, it would be that.
Or it's
one of the ones before it.
Or after it. Or...
I've heard like the ones before 4, like maybe Code Veronica or the first one, I would play obviously for historical purposes.
So again,
4 I've heard is the best, but it's where it's making the leap to
totally
action.
Different.
And you're right, we did talk about this. Yeah, now I remember. Yeah. 5 I feel like is building on that, but if I wanted to play a Resident Evil that was like 5, I feel like I'd just play 4. So I know you
Yeah,
like
well,
5. That's just what I know.
No. The 5 thing, the whole thing with 5 was just the setting. It was totally unique, and it was very cool.
Right.
That's why I like.
Okay. Okay. All right. But hey, let's not get too caught up on that, because let me tell you about worlds colliding.
Okay.
Here, are you ready?
This is what it's like when worlds collide. That guy was Rob Zombie's brother. I say was because I think Rob Zombie disowned him, but I'm not sure.
Oh, also he died. He's dead.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, they're both dead. You
Okay.
heard it here first.
That's why they're called White Zombie.
Team Ninja, makers of Dead or Alive 5 Last Round, the Dead or 5 Aliver game that won't die. So they
Dead
called
or
it
5
Last
Alive.
Round. Yeah, no, that's what the fans call it, right? I'm just trying
like
to endear myself to the loyal playing base of Dead or Alive 5 Last Round. They are getting May.
I would say my but
dang
only
it.
because I feel like it's Mai Tai.
Oh,
Like that's the first. That's how you spell Mai. That's
not Mai Tai.
Mai and Mai Tai. Are you sure it's not? It's not Mai Tai.
From SNK's Neo Geo G. Would you just do this one?
Mai from King of Fighters is coming to Dead Alive 5 Last Round later in 2016.
Neo Geoed, by the way, is
That's what happens when you get Neo Geoed.
yeah.
Your brain shuts down
No,
because
they're
nobody
those
could
rocks.
afford it.
With
Neo Geo.
yeah, no, and they
It's
look all sparkly inside, and then you bust them open. There's a girl with jiggly boobs in there.
Whoa!
Watch this trailer. This is ridiculous. Dead or a 5 Live. Dang it!
Dead or 5 Alive. Johnny 5 is Steve Gutenberg is the king of the fighters.
The boob game. All right? It's easier to say, it's more descriptive, and it's obviously what they have wanted to be for years now.
Yes. Which is why we should congratulate the makers of the System Shock remaster that the Kickstarter has funded by like 110%. It'll come out in 2017. Move away from the boobs.
It's a 30-second trailer that consists of 2 shots, basically, that are like, this is the girl from King of Fighters, and don't worry, her boobs jiggle too. That's literally the 2 points, and it's... You're right, just move on.
Yeah, no. Congratulations, System Shock Remaster is Kickstarted funded by like 100% over it.
Oh, yeah? They were going
like
for $900,000.
They hit it.
Okay.
They're at 109% or 110% or something.
All right.
Yeah, it comes out 2017.
Okay.
Did you... Now, okay. All right, let's get into this.
No, I don't know.
We're not really, but we're going to talk about it briefly. Now, I am curious. Did you ever get into Ingress?
No, I didn't.
So that was totally an Android game that didn't come to iOS until last year.
I was
going to
say, yeah, I think it did come.
Though, yeah, it came like 2 years ago or something like that. And I remember downloading it, booted it up, played with it for half an hour, deleted it. So the makers of Ingress have said, hey, instead of using this really awful GUI that we created, let's just do this with Pokemon. And they created Pokemon Go. It's the same exact game.
Is it the same exact game?
Yeah,
Have
it
you
is seriously
played
a
Pokemon
skin.
Go? I know it's very, very similar.
It is the same game.
Okay. All right.
You're doing the same things.
Okay.
Here's how far I got with this. I downloaded it. It said, "Oh, you have to make an account," which immediately bums me out.
A Pokemon Go account, or does this link to your Nintendo account?
No, you have to make a Pokemon Go account. Okay. It's like you go to the Pokemon site, and you have to make a thing for their thing.
It's embarrassing, even.
So I went to make my account. I tried for about 10 minutes to get the page to load. It would not load, and then I deleted the game from my phone, and I will not reinstall it.
So, because it's a freaking phenomenon at this point. Like, I didn't know it was coming out. I think maybe I heard about it at some point, but then I did hear people talking about it when it did come out, and it wasn't necessarily positive. Like, the Giant Bomb had something up that was like, it's not necessarily that different from Ingress and isn't like a fantastic game. So I was like, okay, that's, and then I heard there was, I want to say, it wasn't IGN, it was somewhere else that was along those same lines. But then it didn't matter. Like, this thing is every freaking where. In every city. Like, supposedly you go outside and you can find somebody. I went to the skate park, I want to say the day after it came out, maybe, and totally, like, number one, it's people acting like strangely almost. Like, what are they doing? And then it dawns on me, like, they're literally looking for Pokemon. Like, the Pokemon Go is this ARG thing where, do we need to explain it, I guess?
No, I don't think we do.
You already know what it is, but yeah, I don't live in a huge town.
Right.
It's happening I've heard of impromptu parties just happening at parks because, hey, there's more people.
Oh yeah. Well, there was a photo even just this morning of Central Park. Central Park is
really
packed with people looking and not packed with people because they're enjoying Central Park, because they're looking for goddamn Pokemon. Like, there are photos all over the place of, like, people meeting up. Like, I've seen a bunch of photos of 10, 12, 15 people outside of a coffee shop or outside of just on the sidewalk, taking a photo of, like, smiling. Everybody's there holding their phones out. And it's cool. Like, look, it's great because it's doing what Ingress, I think, never would have ever done, because Ingress doesn't have a built-in fan base already.
It's not Pokemon, man. Yeah, it does not matter what it is, to a large extent.
Here's the brilliance of Pokemon. Here's the brilliance of Pokemon Go. This is the brilliance of it. It's the fact that you can now do what you wanted to do as a kid, which was go out and catch them in the wild.
Not them all.
Wow.
They've Ingress. I forget the name of the developer. They've come out and said
Niami, I don't know.
NICU.
NICU, yes, they're in the NICU. We hope we're crossing our fingers. We're pulling for it.
They've said kind of not to approach it like that, I guess. They were getting some feedback on that. Yeah. Okay. So I haven't downloaded it, and I've heard there are server issues. I mean, because it is such a phenomenon, so I'm not surprised you ran into something.
Yeah. No, neither am I.
But all that, like what we just talked about, like, to me it's cool. I love that, man. Like, that is a phenomenon. Like, that does not.
It's extraordinary.
It's amazing. I love that stuff, man. Like, I'm gonna download it and try it. Like, I want to be a part of this, man. Like, I want to run into somebody doing something that I couldn't just normally walk up to and talk to like a normal person and people used to do to all the time. I'm gonna use this thing that's stupid to do it,
man.
And it's going to be fun.
You should GoPro it. I can mail
Instagram it.
I can mail you my GoPro.
Do you have a GoPro?
Mm-hmm.
That explains why that camera's always on the top of your head. No, it's. Yeah. I mean, I pretty much understood, or I guessed why you wore a helmet everywhere, but the camera now makes a lot more sense.
Well, I just like to document things. I've got a lot of footage from a lot of people.
Are you going to download this again and try it again?
I will probably not.
Okay, all right.
This is not something that interests me. Like, this
it's not. Just no, me neither. Like, Pokemon's never done it for me.
No, I actually like Pokemon.
Okay, well, screw you.
I don't like even the games. Like, I can play the games for a little bit. I get excited for the games. I can play them for a little while, and I get just bored to death with them. There are a couple Pokemon in particular that I love the designs of them, and they're my favorite Pokemon, and I really like them. But this is not something that I am ever going to see myself doing. It's just like Ingress to me in that respect, that I don't like looking at my phone like that anyways.
It does, like, that part seems kind of dumb. Like, you're just another guy outside not enjoying the weather. But, you know, at least they're kind of, I feel like it's a little better than normal.
No, probably. It's just not something that I want gamified like that. That it's just not interesting to me. And I've looked at it all week long and I thought, man, I want to be excited for this because I see all my friends are really into it, and it is infectious. Like, you want to be involved, you want to do it, and you're perfect example.
I want to check that out. Like, I want to.
What you just said, you didn't say I want to play the game. You said you wanted to be a part of it.
That's like the least part of it,
right? And that's the important part. It's just not something that I guess I care enough to be a part of.
Well, for now, I'm a tentative prediction that you might come back.
If anybody is going to turn this around for me, it's going to be you. You're the person that's going to say the right thing.
That's what I do.
It's
you know why? Because of Destiny. It's all payback for Destiny.
Because you're my density.
That's all I ever wanted to be.
If you do download it, make sure to take a look at what it has access to, because it right now, when you put that on your phone, it has full access to your email, your contacts.
Sure. Always watch out for that stuff. Yeah.
Well, people weren't noticing it until today.
People don't notice that generally. Like, they're like, oh, just here's a button. I'll press the OK one because that's like the happy side of the screen. No, just like I'm the dude who's like so and so wants access to your microphone. No. It's not even an app that uses a microphone, so screw you anyways. It is an app that uses a microphone. No, I'm going to try without for a while. Oh, this doesn't work very well. Okay, you can access my microphone.
Well, which is funny because the app was microphone, but
that explains so much. One of the best stories to come out of Pokemon Go so far,
Pokemon,
is from little old 19-year-old Shayla Wiggins of Riverton, Wyoming.
Hi, Shayla.
Who went looking for her Pokemon near a natural body of water. I'm guessing that's must be some type of requirement. I know there's water-related Pokemon.
There are. One of my favorite Pokemon, my number one Pokemon.
This makes sense.
Water. He's a water type.
My question, are there dead body-related Pokemon?
You'd think there should be.
I would hope they'd be rare, and that would be pretty, like, to get one of them. She found a dead body while she was going to look for the Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all.
You know who caught them all? That guy floating in the river.
That's when he knew. He was like, I'm good.
What else is there? I did it, guys. Bloosh.
I got my last Scyther.
He hasn't been identified yet. So you know what? When he's identified, our condolences go out. But until then, he's Professor just a dead body. Just another dead body for 0 hit points.
Also, Pokemon Go. So Nintendo's had a bit of a struggle these past couple of years. Pokemon.
We could talk about this for hours, man. What if she walks up to the body and the Pokemon's like right next to it? Does she still try and capture it? Yeah, no.
You captured it.
What does she do? Does she immediately stop, or she's like, did she still look for it? That's not in the story. Did she still?
Yeah, no, I want to know if she caught the one she was looking for.
Did she catch it?
Yeah. The important questions. Like, look, yeah, it sucks the guy's dead. That's, we're not joking about him.
I mean, it might suck that the guy's dead. Again, we don't know.
We don't know him. Yeah. We also like
this white supremacist guy fell into the river and drowned.
Yeah. Oh well.
But did huge bummer.
But was she able to get a new Poliwhirl? That's what I want to know.
Right. Okay, now we can stop talking about it.
Yeah. Also, Nintendo stock went up 25%, which is magnificent.
Pokemon Go is a phenomenon. People are dying out there.
People are giving up their privacy. You can go into people's homes. There was a great story about some guy who I guess he lives in an old church, but it hasn't been an old church for over 40 years.
Church.
Whatever records and information that the company that made the game uses hasn't updated that information. So there's a Pokemon like in the dude's house. Like there's a gym like in his house or in his backyard that people are coming up to his door and kind of looking in, and he's obviously annoyed because he doesn't want people.
I'm jumping in the river. Guess what?
Right. Yeah. Well, so he finally took a picture of finally some smart people figuring it out that you can get to the gym in my house from across the street at the park, but there was also another more of a downer article that was written
than the dead dude.
Yeah, well, yeah, because that guy's dead, and we don't know. Like, we don't know who killed him.
All right, okay.
He could have just died there.
I'm
That
pulling it
sucks.
back.
But there was a black man wrote an article about how he's uncomfortable playing the game because of everything that's been going on, and and he went out with his phone, and he started getting looks from people, and
Oh, jeez.
and he was like, I can't play this game because I'm terrified that somebody's going to look at me and think I'm doing something weird, and they're going to call the cops. And
Well, number one, he is doing something weird. Number two, not
That's true.
the thing that you're thinking of.
no,
Well, okay,
right?
number
well,
three,
but-
not the thing that you're thinking of either.
Well, you can't prove that. But this game is a social phenomenon. Like it is impacting people in ways that nobody ever considered, and that's pretty phenomenal. Hence the phenomena.
So there are some
Cunning
games that are
stunts.
coming out, not that
Cunning
are, it's cunning stunts.
stunts.
Cunning stunts. It's real good. It's a
It's
good title.
Grand Theft Auto Online.
It's Grand Theft Auto Online. I don't know anything about this. I saw some pictures that looked like tracks
man.
around buildings and in the sky and stuff like that.
Yes, it looks so great. I watched the trailer for it. There's motorcycles and rings to jump through and giant like loops that you can drive that are in the city that are yeah. It just looks stupid and fun.
Cool.
Cunning
I'm into that.
stunts.
Say it one more time.
Cunning stunts. 0 hit points.
Also on the 15th, Adrift for PS4. I had forgotten about this game. I forgot that it was going to have a non-VR release, I guess.
I'm totally forgotten all about it.
Okay. Adrift in a sea of content from 0 hit points.
What?
That's a good reaction to just about anything.
What?
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
The site has a Monday video.
Uh-huh.
Before that, it had a Friday video from you.
That is true.
Before that, there was a Tuesday video that I'm pretty sure I released on Wednesday. I don't know. It's another Rocket League recap. I finally did the hoops video. It's out there.
This is
Don't
getting confusing.
don't ask. Yeah, it's horrible. We added a new page to the site that we also alluded to and then forgot about and then alluded to again and then forgot about and then just put it up.
I didn't forget.
Yeah. It's Ask Us Anything. It's like the question of the week thing, except it's not an actual segment. We're not going to make a big deal out of it. But if you ask us a question, it could show up on the show, etc., whatever. It's on the site. Ask Us Anything.
I'll ask you anything. Hey Ryan,
Okay.
what are you gonna play this week?
Pretty much done with. Why do I do that? I always start with the games I'm done with. Why don't I just go right into the games that I will? Why don't I just edit this all out?
No.
Lego Dimensions. I'm going to do that last. I got the midway level pack from a friend of the show, Adam Parkin.
He can prove to me he plays PC games now.
Okay, so he got us tickets to PAX. I came out that he has a PC. He knows what a PC, and he's played PC games before.
I don't recognize
You've
that.
since built your own PC. I have to come clean. I was paid to say those things.
I knew it. I knew it.
He bought me tickets, and he said, "Tell you," he's like,
Yeah. Well.
Does this ruin the site? Can we?
Yeah, you did it bad. We'll talk about this offline. Let's just finish this show.
I don't know how that works.
Phones, Ryan. Jeez.
I don't know what I'm going to be playing
Cool.
besides Lego Dimensions. It'll be something else.
There will be. I will be playing Overwatch.
What are we going to play tomorrow
It's a great question. I really
for
don't.
the stream?
Well, it won't be tomorrow. It'll be Thursday because today is not Wednesday like normal.
At 7 p.m. PST on Thursday. Do we?
I guess you are going to release it.
These are my
you're
votes.
You're still going to release it on Wednesday, aren't you? So I guess it does work.
No, it's definitely tomorrow.
We'll edit that too.
These are your choices.
Okay, give them to me.
Rainbow Six Vegas, again, like I said, had fun with that. I think we can... There's some more to plumb.
Okay, we could plumb. So plumbing.
or some other random game that's not Rocket League or Overwatch.
I like plumbing. Let's plumb. Let's say Rainbow Six Vegas 2, and if something just, pinches the nipple right, we'll go with that.
All right. I think we could probably end the show now.
We can't, because there's one other thing we have to remind everybody about. We're on Instagram!
Yeah, don't forget about that.
Never forget.
I know I won't.